Okay, same thing. So go ahead and get a little bit of tension, like get started. And again, you're not raising the hands, you're raising the elbows. So raise the elbows into my hands. One, but watch these. Keep your eyes open. Don't close your eyes. Keep your eyes open and watch in the mirror. Okay, that's okay, that's good. That's much better. Good. 2, let's go for 20. 3, good. 4, 5, very good. 6, 7, good. 8, 9, last close. So we're just here. 10, better. 11, good. 12, good. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Pretty good, pretty good. So that's what we want to do. Now, we need to choke up on the bands a little bit. Like, we only have like this part of the range of motion.
Yeah.
We need to be able to start from like kind of like what would be considered the bottom. So you have to grab more of the band. Now, does it feel like there's a lot of, is it a lot of heaviness in the band at the top, or just really hard to concentrate?
It's a little bit of both, because my whole arm hurts like a pressure, mostly from here to here, like, you know.
Yeah, and then, well, that's actually the part that's connected to this muscle.
Yeah.
So what this muscle is connected to is your upper arm bone. So it's lifting the bone. And then you have the tension of the weight is going through your wrist and your elbow joint. So the joints are being like pulled a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's what you're feeling, is like the little bit of the opening pull of the weight.
Yeah.
But this should hopefully be light enough. It's only like 10 pound band. Yeah. So, but that shows that like our normal mechanics of doing raises like this have not been working the right muscles. So by us learning to get our elbows rotate like that and then staying in that position, it makes sure we're working mid delts.
Well, my rotator cuffs feel better. They're trying to find the right path.
Oh, you're good. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, they're trying to find the right path.
Yeah, so that's what we're trying to do, is we're trying to define, like instead of us just kind of doing them like this, where we're moving, but we're not moving the right weight, like the right muscle. So you're using like your front delt a lot and a lot of the trap, whereas we need to get your elbow up to use this thing.
Yeah, it's like new muscles.
Yeah, that's exactly what I want.
That's what, yeah.
So let's choke up a little bit, so that way, like when you come down in the motion, we want to have more than just this top half. We want to have to start from the bottom and come up. Good. 1, yeah, eyes open, look in the mirror. 2, pretty good, right here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, not bad. 8, 9, just one more. 10. Not bad. We're getting a little bit weak on this side, but we actually already know that that's your weak side.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
It
That's why
takes
we're
all
doing
my
this.
concentration for this side.
Yeah, but that's exactly why we're doing it, is trying to build this part of your shoulder, and that'll get rid of this forward look here.
Yeah.
It'll get it back here, because you won't have only strength on the front side of the joint. So you'll actually have strength all around, and that's going to help center the joint. The joint's going to always look for the center of the strength. It wants to sit in a nice cozy middle.
Right.
Well, your middle is forward now, because that's where your strength is in the front. If we can get the mid delt and your rear delt to get stronger, it makes the middle of your strength in the middle of the joint, which is where the bone would then sit.
That's
why
it's pulling like right.
Yeah, because those are the weaker muscles.
Yeah.
It's like if I told you have 3 people to do work, so front delt, rear delt, mid delt, think of it as like 3 people. One dude can bench like 500 pounds. These both can bench like 200.
Yeah.
They're not going to want to do the work, right? This one's going to want to do the work all the time. So by us working on our rotation, we can prevent this rotation here, which allows this to contract.
Oh, I got it.
We rotate here and forces these two to contract, and they don't like it.
No, because then they can look for the traps to help.
Yeah, since they're not getting help from here, they ask here.
Yeah.
And then that's why you have to keep your eyes open to make sure that this isn't helping. So we don't want the nice big muscles to help. We want to force the work into these two weak ones. And then we stay with whatever level of work these two are challenged by but can still do on their own. If we get heavy enough, like too heavy, they'll have to have help to move. So we have to stay light enough that they're the only things that have to do it. So this doesn't have to get involved, or this doesn't have to get involved. But it's also heavy enough that it challenges these two. That's why we couldn't use just arm weight, because the weight of your arm isn't enough to cause muscle damage. So it can learn proper mechanics, but it can't cause actual growth. So, okay, let's try it again. And think of making these do the work. It's really this one. So you're making this do the work, not this. Okay, so eyes open and watch the traps. Yeah, one, and then if that's all high you can get without involving traps, it's okay. We just want this worker. Good, 3. Yeah, just this worker. 4. Just these. 5. That's okay. 6. Yes. 7. Yes.
It's because I'm pushing against your finger.
Yeah, that's what we had, like the idea of why I was pushing your elbows. But this is actually in the muscle you want to contract. So it's that physical cueing that we've talked about before. Good. You want 10. I don't know how many, right? Try 3 more. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So that's the goal. Is we're trying to isolate. We have potential for 1, 2, 3 mostly workers.
Yeah.
The rear delt doesn't really do this. It helps support your position. But if we want to look at the actual workers, 1, 2, 3. We're trying not to use these two in just this.
Yeah, and I can't feel it yet.
Not yet, but when I was pushing on it, you could feel it better.
Yeah, when you're
Yeah, and then when we're in the right positions, we can feel it better.
Yeah.
If we rotate where the hand comes up first, you can feel how that rotates under my fingers. So just relax for a second. Okay, now rotate out and then back in, but rotate your elbow. There. So you can feel how this muscle is moving a little.
There.
Can you feel
I
it?
can feel it right there.
Yeah, so right here. There,
Yeah,
boom.
yeah.
That's when you would raise your elbow to come up for a lateral raise. So just drop the band real quick. Let go of the band. Now raise your elbow. Yeah, that is that muscle contracting. That's that thing. Now without this. So come back down. Not here. Go again. Oh, there we go. Let's do 5 more like that. 1. Good. So this is the only thing that contracts. 2. 3. Very good. 4.
Oh, now I'm starting to feel it.
Yep. 5. Now come up and hold the top. 6. Now, real quick. The thing we're trying to correct though is this cheating. The reason why we're correcting this is on a bench press. Every time you were bench pressing, you were losing your shoulder position because you're using your wrist to rotate your elbow, not just your shoulder. So what was happening is when you were bench pressing, by you coming up and you were using so much of your wrist to control, like your elbow was getting too tucked, so you were cranking your wrist to bring your elbow out, but then you couldn't lock out.
Right.
Because everything was so torqued and your hand was pried against that bar. So when you have a barbell in your hand can't rotate like that, it has to stay flat. So we need to learn how to do a lateral raise with our hand flat, because that'll transfer to a barbell bench with our hand flat. So that's why you can't do a wrist correction for the elbow. You have to do a shoulder correction for the elbow. Yes.
Keep your eyes open.
Yeah, eyes open and see what the hell's going on. So, very good.